All right. Hey, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 18th. It is 1 p.m. and we are going to go live with our second episode of Social Distancing Science with Miss Sami. All right. So if you would like to join in and do this science experiment with me, we're going to be making invisible ink together and doing some invisible messages. So what you need for this, and this might be backwards, so I apologize, but what you'll need is you'll need some lemon juice. You can do fresh lemon juice, you can do bottled lemon juice. You're going to need a bowl with some water to dilute, or meaning to water it down. So you have like 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons. You're going to need a paintbrush to mix it together. So a little paintbrush, or you could use a Q-tip. You're going to need a Q-tip or a cotton swab, and you're also going to need a heat source. So today I'm actually going to be using a candle as my heat source, but if you have a stove that you could use, but the most important part of needing a heat source is that you also need an adult. So please do not do this activity without your adult, because we're going to be working with heat and fire, and it's super important that we stay safe. So we are going to be doing our invisible ink. So I've taken my lemon juice. I have my lemon. Here's my bowl of water. It's not that much water, but we do want to dilute our lemon juice. So squeeze a little bit in there. I'm going to take my paintbrush. I'm going to mix it around. Okay. Also, the other thing I have here is I have a bowl of water, just like a large bowl of water, because I just want to make sure that if something, like if the paper, because we are going to be having paper over an open flame, if something does happen to the paper, we can quickly put it in the water and put it out. Okay, so we always want to make sure we're staying safe and that our adults are doing the part that that's going to require the heat source. All right, so we mixed up our lemon juice and our water, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of paper. It can be this big, it can be bigger, and you're going to take a Q-tip or a cotton swab, and you're going to dip it into your diluted lemon juice. All right, so if it's super wet, you're just gonna take a cloth, you're just gonna dab it a little bit, okay? And now you're gonna draw on your paper. This is just regular printer paper, all right? So I'm gonna write a message on here. I'm not gonna show you what it is because I want it to be a secret. So write your message with your Q-tip. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Something super simple. All right. We're gonna let that dry. You can see, you can't see the message that I wrote on there. All right. So now is where your adult comes in. So I'm going to light my heat source, which is gonna be a flame. Like I said, another heat source you could use could be maybe a hairdryer. It'll take a little bit longer. Or you could use your stove. So if you have an open flame stove, you could do that. But a candle works just as well. So I'm going to, again, this is your adult who's doing this. I'm gonna light my candle. All right. I'm gonna put this in my bowl of water because it's hot. All right. Now with my heat source, I am going to heat up my message. And so we're gonna hold it above the flame, and we're going to be working our way up because we don't want the paper to burn, but we do want the lemon juice to react with the heat source. Okay? And this might take a little bit, but what you're going to start to see is you're going to see your lemon juice react with your heat source. And this took me a couple times to try to figure out, so this might take you a couple times too. But eventually, as you are starting to heat up your message, you will start to see it change colors. And then you will get to see your message. So I'm going to actually show you a message that I wrote earlier and how it came out. So when you're done with your message, it's going to look something like that. Hope you can see that. That says hello. But you're going to keep heating it up until it starts to change colors. And when it's changing colors, what it's doing is it's doing something called oxidizing. And oxidizing is just a big word that means that oxygen is reacting with an element in the lemon juice. So because lemon juice is something that we call, it has something called carbon molecules, it turns brown when it interacts with oxygen. And you can think about like when you leave a banana out for a really long time, your banana starts to turn a different color. And or other, if you think of like an avocado, if you leave an avocado out too long. And this one is taking a little bit longer because I didn't let it dry. So you want to make sure that you let it dry before you start to heat it up. So in the lemon juice in the water, we're diluting it. So it wasn't noticeable when we wrote it on the paper, but when we heated it up, that's when we started to see the message. So you could try this with other things. You could try it with lemon juice. You could try it with lime juice, milk, orange juice, vinegar, and all you have to do is dilute it and write your message on there. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe heat up my message before we head out here. And I wanna see if you all are doing this at home, I wanna see what messages you wrote, because I wanna see if this invisible ink is helping you write secret messages to your adult. Maybe your adult is writing secret messages to you. And you can start to see, I can start to see my message come through here. Because when lemon juice oxidizes, it turns color quicker than the paper. So what we're doing is we are having the heat source interact with the lemon juice, and that's why it changes color. So now the one that I just did is starting to come through. Pretty cool. So you can start to see the message that I wrote. I just wrote hello. So that's our second episode of Social Distancing Science with Miss Sammy. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to write some secret messages. Maybe I'll post a few pictures on this post. Share your pictures of messages that you've been making with your invisible ink. You could do a small message like hello. You could even draw something if you wanted to draw a heart or maybe something else. That is also really fun. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.